All right, tax. So far, we have seen how you can earn interest by investing money. What are the two different kinds of interest that you've been shown so far? Compound and simple interest. And then when I showed you compound interest, I showed you a formula for compound interest, but I immediately stopped that because I told you there's a better way of doing compound interest. Does anyone remember what that was? The calculator TVM solver. Please get good at practice stuff. It'll save you a lot of time in the test. Okay? People that did TVM, learned how to use TVM solver in previous years, they finished this test in like less than an hour, whereas the other people using formula keep going. So in Australia, when you make an income, and this includes from your job and any other sources like investments, which is what we've been shown so far, the government takes a portion of this income in the form of tax. In Australia, the amount of tax depends on your overall income. So from my job, plus maybe any income I made from shares, any income I made from putting money in the bank. Your tax rate can be found in tables such as the one on page 75 of your textbook. You're going to use that table in your textbook to answer all the questions in exercise 3.1. You do not need to copy this table down, but I just want it up there so I can talk to it. So what does it say? How much tax do you pay if you earn between $0 and $18,200 in Australia? Nothing. You don't have to pay any tax. If you earn between $18,201 and 37 grand, how much tax is the government taxing you on that money? 19%. What do you notice with the percentages as you earn more and more? You get taxed more. So the money, any money that you earn over 180 grand in Australia, government's going to take almost half of it. Okay? Why? Because you're freaking rich already anyway. You can afford that. Okay? What we have is a society where we try to help the less advantaged. Okay? You do not need to copy this for your cheat sheet as it'll be provided. However, you can see the more you earn, the more you get taxed. In this subject, if any of your parents are accountants, they would look at this and look at what the lesson that I'm running and they'd probably have a heart attack because we're oversimplifying. Okay? So just so it's on record, we're oversimplifying this. All we do is we see the effect of tax on any income you make in an investment. We don't do income tax because an accountant will spend their whole career learning about income tax. Okay? All we're doing is going, okay, if I had an investment and I earned $500 on this investment, how much is the government going to take from me? That's all we care about. So, there's three formula that you need to do. If any question mentions tax in Year 11 General Maths, you're using one or all of these three formulas. Can you please get them down? The formula for tax questions, total income is the salary or the job income that you have, plus any investment money that you get. What do I use that formula for? I use it to decide which tax rate I'm going to encounter. Tax is your investment income times by tax rate as a decimal. Can anyone remind me, how do I convert a percentage to a decimal? What would 19 be as a decimal? Good, correct. You divide by 100. If you ever forget that, well, what is 50% as a decimal? 0.5. How did I do that? I jumped the decimal point twice to the left, which is dividing by 100. And then the last thing, the after-tax return, is the money you were supposed to get from the investment minus the tax the government took from you. Please have a couple of minutes to get those three formula down. So once again, anything in blue is what should go onto your cheat sheet. What's notes in the lesson? Anything in black is just for me to help teach. Isn't here today. Jebediah Ingleson isn't here today, so I'm going to change the name. Jackson Shores. Doesn't? It's not your name, is it?
It still hurts.
Everyone good. I just need a character to make up numbers. You don't actually need this as a notes, but if you really wanted to get it down, it's still here. Sorry, I forgot to do this in blue. This should be in blue.
It's so cold, I can't lie.
You want me to turn the little heater on? Let's set a last coffee 20 degrees.
Very nice.
It's no longer Jebediah. It's Jake's. If you have those three formula, can you get that example down, please? And then I'll work through it, and then I'm literally done. For the double, you do 3.1. Some of you boys will finish this pretty quickly, so if you wanted to work on other subject work, get on the Mario Kart or whatever, it's fine. I just enjoy watching you boys button mash on. Button mash on, what is it? It's like game, or just
Street Fighters.
Smash Bros. Street Fighter's OG.
Where's the strap? Just makes you unpredictable.
Move this off to the side. Jackson, how much do you earn a year as a nothing inappropriate, honestly? Plumber? Musician?
Money? Yeah.
No? I can't do maths on dollars money. I can't do any.
Just make it up.
Yes, I'm asking you.
77,000.
Yes. See?
That's realistic.
2024. You can decide for yourself. You're young. As a what? What are you?
I don't know. Coffee.
Let's say a beginner teacher.
Sure.
That's pretty much what you start getting first year out as a teacher. Last year he earned a bonus of nothing that big. Like what seems like a reasonable amount for you did a good job. What a bonus. You work for a public school, you don't get bonuses. Let's say it's a private. And decided to invest it into a savings account for 1 year, compounding monthly at 6% per annum. Question A, calculate the interest that Jackson earned from the investment. Question B, calculate the tax he needs to pay on that interest because the government is going to take a little bit of it. Because it's a form of income. And question C, find the after-tax return on that interest. So, A, calculate the interest Jason earned for the investment. According to the question, it's going for 1 year, compounding monthly, 6% per annum. As soon as it says compounding interest, what should I use? TVM solver. I've already attached this to Daymap, so you've got the three that you should try to use in order. Try to use this one, but we noticed that was blocked for some people. Try to use this one second because it looks closest to the graphics calculator, and then the last option is financial calculator. So I'm going to go this one because I know it will work straight away. So I want to work out the interest earned from the investment. So N, I, PV, PMT, FV, PY, CY. What is the interest rate of the account that he's putting that $3,000 in? 6%. So on TVM Solver, you don't need to convert, you just put the 6. Okay? PV. Now you might remember from last term, we drew the little stick figures and the money coming out of them or the money going to them. If he is putting $3,000 into the account, is it going into the bank or is it going into him? Huh? It's going into the bank. So what's PV going to be? Positive or negative $3,000? Negative 3,000. Good. Does it say anything about him putting extra payments, or is he just chucking $3,000 in the bank and just leaving it alone for a year? $3,000. And also, I told you at year 11, we just ignore PMT. I showed you how PMT works because a lot of you are working, and I want to show you actual useful maths, so you already know how that works. But for our purposes, this is always going to be 0 in your question. FV is what I'm actually going to find, so I'll put a little star there. PY and CY. At year 11, what do we know about these two? Are they going to be different, or are they going to be the same? They're going to be the same, and we're going to judge it based on compounding monthly. So compounding monthly means it happens 12 times a year, and because they have to be the same in year 11, they're going to be 12. And then lastly, I can work out N, which is the total number of compounding or payment periods. If I'm keeping that $3,000, good. If I'm keeping that $3,000 in there for a year, and it's compounding 12 times, how many periods is it going to be? It's going to be 12. So the way that TVM Solver works is you chuck everything in that you know, negative $3,000. Notice how it keeps it the same. Solve for FV. Do you have a question, boys?
No.
$31.85.03. So therefore, how much interest did he earn on that investment?
185.
Good. Please don't say 3185.03. That's what's in the account. Interest is the bit on top. He chucked in $3,000, so the bit on top, therefore, that's his income from the investment. B, calculate the tax he needs to pay on that interest. So we're using this little table here, but I need to know what his income is. What is his income from the job? Good, that comes into it because the government's looking at how much you earn in total. So he gets that just from his job. But did he earn something else a little bit on top as well? 185.03. It's not going to make a difference in this question, but because I'm a troll, I may do a question where you're really close to the limit here, and the interest pushes you into the next one. I may or may not do that. I don't know. But that's possible, because I've shown it here. So, how much income does he make? $77,185.03. What was his tax rate before? His tax rate was going to be 32.5. Does that $185.03 push him into 37%? No. But what if his income was $79,999 and then he earned $185.03? Would that push him over?
Yes.
So just be wary of that. So forewarning. B, calculate the tax he needs to pay the interest. So, tax. Looking at the formula there. Investment income. How much money did he earn on the investment?
185.
Good. Times by the tax rate as a decimal. So we looked at the table. He's getting taxed 32.5%. What's 32.5 as a decimal? Good. 0.325. Use your calculator for that. So when you're doing your test, you'll be allowed, your window on your device can look like this. You can have TVM Solver open and your device calculator, and I'll be patrolling the room. All right? If I see anything different, that test is ripped. Okay? So 185.03 times by 0.325. So the government is going to charge him $60.13 to 2 decimal points in tax. So we've just worked out how much tax the government's going to take. And then C, find his after-tax return. After-tax return is going to be, how much money was he supposed to get from the investment? Good. Minus, how much is the government taking away from him?
60.
Good. So he's still going to earn a bit, but you can't ignore that. $124.90 after tax return. That's tax for you.